Hello, today we're here to talk to you about the Dakota top dressers. We have the 410 mounted and we also have the 412 trail version. We're going to be going through such things as operation and setting up of the machine, particularly focusing on the new control box that we have for the electric version. Okay, so we're going to go through the settings for the application rate. This is controlled by either your forward speed, the opening of the gate at the back of the machine, or the speed of your conveyor, which is adjusted by loosening the locking nut and just moving the restrictor. This is the same also for the spinners, which will control your spread width. So to adjust the conveyor speed, you loosen the lock nut and you move the restrictor to the top for slower conveyor speed, which will give you a lighter dressing, or move it down for a heavier dressing. For the spinners as well, same again, you loosen the lock nut and move it up to reduce the speed, giving you a smaller spread pattern, or down to the bottom for an increased speed with a wider spread. Okay, so we're just going to talk through the tensioning of the belt. We're going to start by loosening the lock nut, and then we're going to adjust the rod to move the pulley further away and put more tension on the belt. It's important to adjust both sides equally. Unless the belt is running off to one side, you would adjust one side accordingly to send it back over into the middle. You may find that you have to adjust the belt after about 30 hours use when the belt is just bedded in. The main adjustments for the application rate are on forward speed and the opening of the rear gate at the back. This is adjusted by loosening the screw and adjusting the gate for either a lighter or heavier application rate. For the fine tuning of the application rate, you would adjust the conveyor speed.
Despite this 412 being the mechanical version of the Dakota, there is, however, an electronical element, and that comes in the form of this switch here, which controls the on and off of the conveyor. When you get to the end of your run, turn the switch off and that will cut the feed of sand onto the discs. We recommend that you leave the discs going so that if any material does fall onto them, then it is evenly dispersed. So now we're going to move on to the 410. This is the electric over hydraulic version. The same basic principle applies with this machine as it did to the 412 that we spoke about earlier. Except now with this one, the spread width and application rate is adjusted via the comfort of the seat through the electronic control box. This one as well has a vibrator fitted, which is used to clear loose material out of the hopper at the end of application.
The Dakota top dressers are well known for their even and consistent spread with the use of a wide range of materials. We find that this is best achieved by having one of the paddles adjusted to the very outside of the disc and the next one along slightly just inward of the outside of the disc. And this will give you an even spread with a wide range of different materials. Okay, so now we're just going to go through the actual working of the control box, and initially you're going to start the control box up with the main switch on the back. Okay, so once the control box is fired up, it's going to bring you to the main menu. Here we have the option for on-off button for the vibrator, the on-off button for the conveyor, the on-off button for the spinners, and the button for the preset, which we'll touch on later. Also displayed on the home menu is the conveyor speed and the spinner speed. At the minute you can see there's a green box around one and a yellow box around the other. If you push this button, you'll see the boxes switch, and this then allows you to adjust the speed in the spinners. If you push it again, it'll switch to the conveyor, and you can now again vary the RPM. Okay, so we're just going to talk through the preset option. So if you push the button next to presets, you can see the display now shows P1 to 4. This allows you to save 4 preset conveyor and spinner speeds for different applications. So if you wanted, say, like a light top dressing for your greens and a heavier one for fairways, you can do that through the preset option. So we just push it to go back, we hold down P1. You can see P1 is now displayed down in this part of the screen, and that has saved the conveyor speed and spinner speed. Okay, so we're just going to go through some of the options of the secondary menu. So if you just push this button, it takes you onto the second menu. You can now go onto sand reference. This gives you a starting guide for your different application rates. So you can see it says for light, medium and heavy spread, it will recommend the gate height, the spinner speed and the belt speed to best achieve them rates. So also in the secondary menu, we have spinner reference. So if you push the button beside that, this will take you into a basic spinner adjustment, and this gives you the recommended adjustments. So if your spread rate is heavy in the middle or heavy on the outside, it gives you the recommended adjustments to make to the paddles to achieve a more even spread.